packages in this version also. Okay, there is not much of difference, but as the versions are being upgraded, the options are being precisely put into some other place so that we can access from there. So to access preview packages in 2020 version, what you have to do is go to Window, then Package Manager, right? So here you won't be able to find. So for that, what you have to do is, okay, yeah. So for that, what you have to do is go to settings and go to this advanced project settings. So when you are going to this advanced project settings, you will have this package manager here. Okay, so in this package manager, below if you see, you will be able to see this option called as enable preview packages. So usually it will be turned off. That is, there won't be any check mark. So you have to check this and then get back and check here so that once you check the interaction toolkit. Okay, so here you will have this one called as preview, so which means that it is a preview package. Okay, so no worries, you can continue working with 2019 version itself. So I thought I will let you know about this just in case if you are going to work with this version or any version, any latest version or something. Okay, so this was one thing. And while building, while building the application, I sent you one a recorded video, right? So that was the video that was recorded inside the VR headset. So I'm having Oculus Quest 2. So with Quest 2, I just did the output. So for that, I built one APK for Android and then I downloaded and installed that application inside Quest 2 and then tested over there. So while installing, while building the application, I just realized that I haven't attached the camera component. Okay, so here in the VR camera, you have to add one component camera. Okay, so to add that, what you have to do is just select the VR camera and then go to add component and then search for camera. Okay, so you will have this component and then you can simply, okay, already I have added, so it is not adding. So you have to add that component and then after adding the component, what you have to do is here you will have this option called as clipping plane. Okay, so that clipping planes option you have to set it. Usually it will be 0.3 by default. Okay, so what happens is what is this clipping plane is actually when you are viewing something in your VR headset. Okay. When you are bringing an object closer to your eyes, that is the headset. So inside VR, okay, just
Excuse
a
me,
minute.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
For us in VR camera add component, we are not getting camera, ma'am.
We are not getting camera.
VR camera.
So here we have made one VR camera as child of this camera offset, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there,
That camera only I selected.
okay, can you please share your screen?
Yes, ma'am. This one, ma'am.
Yeah.
VR camera, add components.
Type CAME, okay, type camera, ma'am. Search.
Oh. Now coming.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll stop.
Something. Just a minute. I'll just share the video that I shared with you on that day. Okay, so this is the video that I shared with you that day. I'll just play it once. For those who haven't seen it, uh, kindly see this. Okay, I mean, actually, the thing how it goes is we will be able to see whatever is happening inside the headset. We will be able to see it on a desktop with one platform called as Air Receiver. Okay, so in that Air Receiver, whatever you are seeing, that is, when it comes to VR headset, only one person can wear it at a time, right? So whatever visuals that person sees in that VR headset will be visible only to them, right? But through this ad receiver software, we will be able to share screen, like how we are sharing screen on Zoom, and you are able to see my screen. So like that, this ad receiver software lets you to see whatever that person sees inside the VR headset. Okay, so that is how this screen recording is taken as the screen recording from the desktop. Okay, that is the visuals are inside the VR camera, but the screen recording is of the desktop screen recording. So that is how it was recorded. And so as you go inside VR scene, you will not feel as if you are somewhere else. Okay, so you will feel as if you yourself are inside that scene, right? So then, how you will feel it when you are wearing that headset with the scene that you are seeing over there, you will literally be able to connect your vision with the scene that is happening. Okay, so it will be experienced only when you wear the headset and see. So don't feel it so complicated. We will just see it when we are having in-person training. Okay, so this what will happen is, imagine this object is over here. Okay, now I am talking for this clipping planes option. Okay, so just imagine that this object is near you. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you just imagine you are grabbing this object near your eyes. Okay. So when you are bringing it closer to your eyes, there will be a kind of appearance like the object is being torn. Okay. There will be an appearance that uh, the object is being torn, and then you are as if the object. I mean, there will be a feeling as if there is a tear in the object. Okay, so that is where this near and far clipping planes play their role. Okay, so what happens is when you switch this near from 0.3 to 0.1, so that value, that 0.1 to 3, how it will be is 0.3 is a bit far from your eyesight. Okay, so even if you bring it closer to this part where this cube ends. Okay, this cube is the indication for your hands. So where this cube ends, even if you bring it over here, there will be an appearance as if the object is being torn. Okay, so when you switch it to 0.1, what will happen is the endpoint is over here, right? As of now, that is just imagine, just assume that 0.3 is going to be here. When you, I mean, when you change it to 0.1, it will appear good. That is, there won't be any, I mean, the object won't seem to be torn uh, until you bring it over here. Okay, so till here, you will be able to see the complete object. Okay, so that is the use of this near and far clipping planes. Okay, so that is why we have to change the near to 0.1. So don't worry, you will understand this when you are viewing things inside VR headset. We will see the difference between this 0.1 and 0.3 when you are deploying your application inside the VR headset. Okay. So yes, further saying to these two things, we will get into today's class. Okay. So today's class is going to be about teleportation. Okay. I'll show you a video. Just observe it. Then we'll check what is it. Okay. Can you see the switch in the scene? Okay, so we were very far from the mission. So we were very far from this mission, but after teleporting, we are coming near the mission. Okay, so to be precise, teleportation is the one that makes you move in your scene. Okay, as we walk and as we rotate our heads and see in our day, I mean, in our real world like that, we will be able to move, rotate, okay, inside our VR scene also. All right. So to do that, there is something called as teleportation. Okay, I'll spell the word. I mean, I'll just write it here in the chat box. And teleportation. Okay, teleport. So we will be using this teleportation option to move inside our VR scene. All right. So is it being fine so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Before that, teachers, I would like to let you know that whatever we are going to see hereafter might seem a bit uh, not graspable or something right, like that. Okay, because you haven't visited things in VR headset and all. So you just get to know how to do that process. And once you get to see things through your VR headset, you will be able to know how things are going. Okay. So in case if you are in your college, you can actually get access to your VR headsets also, right? Okay. So to start with, what we'll do is we need to add two components in our hierarchy. Okay. So what are the two components is one is going to be locomotion system. Okay, and then the other one is going to be teleportation provider. Okay, so to do that, I'll select this VR rig and then I'll go here to XR. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll just go to this VR rig and here in this add component for this VR rig. Okay, we are going to add two things. One is going to be locomotion system. Okay. The other one is going to be teleportation provider. Okay. So what these two do is, as you, I mean, as the name say, uh, locomotion system. That is, it lets you move around, and then this teleportation provider lets you teleport inside your VR scene. Okay, so till now, um, over here, these things are showing as none. Okay, but when you go enter into the play mode, automatically these none will be represented by the appropriate things. Okay, so here VR rig and VR locomotion system, it gets loaded automatically. All right. So this is the first step to start with for teleportation. Okay. Then after after this, we are going to add one ray kind of thing. Okay. So here. Is not seen properly. Yeah. Can you see this black line kind of thing? Okay, this is the raycast. Okay, RAYCAST, raycast. Okay, so we are going to have the raycast. Okay, what basically this raycast does is wherever we want to teleport this raycast, let us do that. Okay, so to do it, what we have to do is we'll go to the hierarchy, okay, and then right click, then XR, okay, and then we have to choose this ray interactor. All right, so what okay, here when we add this array interactor, what happens is it automatically adds things that are, I mean, the components, okay, that are required for teleportation. Okay, so whatever it just defines itself as.
Ma'am, can you repeat the step one more time, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Uh.
Okay, so we need to bring one raycast to our project. Okay, so what? Okay, I'll show you how does a raycast look like. Okay, can you see this? So it will be like a kind of a ray that is passing from your controller. Okay, this is controller. So controllers are of different models and types. So this is one type. Okay, so this is of HTC Vives controller. All right, so we'll be dealing with Oculus. So it will be a bit different from. Okay, it will look like this. Okay. So there will be a ray that is passing from the controller. I mean, there will be an appearance as if the ray is passing from the controller. So this is called as raycast. Okay, this is not specifically like it should look only in this color or in this manner. There are other customizations to change it in whatever form we want it to be. Okay, so now here as you see it appears to be blue and here there it appears to be green. Okay, the renderer you can change like any color that you would want to. All right, so this is how the raycast will look like, right? So now we are going to bring one raycast to our VR scene. Okay, that is uh, the data that will be passing from the controller. All right. So to do it, what we are going to do is right click in hierarchy and then go to XR. Then in XR, you will have this ray interactor. Okay, you have to choose this ray interactor. All right. So this ray interactor will be automatically termed to be a game object, and then it will also have the components necessary for the raycast. Okay, so you needn't worry of adding any other excessive components for this ray interactor. All right. So after doing this, what we are going to do is we are going to make this ray interactor as the child of this camera offset. Okay. So I'll repeat again. We are going to make this ray interactor as the child of camera offset. So to do it, I'll just drag it from here. I will drop it inside this camera offset. Okay, and then let me name it as. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are just going to make our customizations for one controller first. Okay, there are a pair of controllers, right? One left and right. So first we will customize the options, make things ready for one pair of, one of the controllers, and then we will just duplicate the other one, and then we will turn the names accordingly. Okay, so to start with, let me name it as right teleport array. Okay, so this is going to be for my right hands controller. All right. Okay, now what we are going to do is in the I'm looking for that option. Okay, I'm just searching. Okay, now what I'm searching is we are going to shift this. I mean, we are going to define this as right controller. Okay, that is I am searching for that option. If you are able to see that option, please tell me. Okay, let me find it later on. Right. Um, okay, next thing to do is okay, there are two types of teleportation. Okay, so one is area teleportation. That is one whole area will where we'll be able to teleport. The other one is going to be teleport anchor. Okay, so the anchor point alone will seem as if it is teleported. Okay, so what are the two types of teleportation? One is teleport area, that is teleportation area, and the second one is teleportation anchor. Okay, ANCHOR, anchor. Okay, so to start with teleportation area, what we'll do is we'll go here to the hierarchy and then XR. Okay, so here we'll have this teleportation area. So as well as we have brought this teleportation area, can you see a white plane kind of, a white plane is imported here in our VR scene, okay? So I'll just adjust it too far from the plane that we have here. So I'll just have it to be 0.001. Okay, yeah. Now it is just right above our plane. All right. So now what we'll do is, okay, we'll just scale it a bit down. All right. So to be precise, this green box kind of thing is there, right? So this is where the player's position is now. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just even more scale this plane a bit, and then we'll move this plane ahead of the player's position. Okay, I'll just get it in x-axis. Okay, now this white plane, wherever this white plane is, in this area, the teleportation will be possible. Okay, so in case if you want to cover this entire plane, you can scale this plane to the entire plane and apply some material, and you can just have it as teleportation area. Okay, right. So now what we can do is, after seeing this teleportation area, we'll go ahead and check what is called as teleportation anchor. Okay, is it being fine so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right. So we have brought this teleportation area. All right. Then what we'll do is we need to see what is called as teleportation anchor. Okay. So to do that, what we'll do again, come to this hierarchy and then XR. Then we'll go to this teleportation anchor. Okay, did you notice something when we imported this teleportation anchor? There is one blue box kind of thing. Okay, so this is the anchor point. So wherever the anchor point is, only in that point we will be able to teleport. We will be able to move, not like the teleportation area. So okay, as of now I'll hide this teleportation anchor. Okay, so in this teleportation area, there is no anchor point. There is no particular point where we'll be able to access. So throughout this entire area, wherever this white plane is, throughout this area, we will be able to move. Okay, but in teleportation anchor, it is not like that. Okay, so wherever the anchor point is, only there we'll be able to move. Okay, so now I'll also scale it. All right, I'll move it here and keep. And I it's too much in my axis, so I'll just make it also to be 0.001. Okay, so it is right above the plane. Okay. So here the player is standing, and here we have this teleportation area, and here we have this teleportation anchor point. Okay, so if you notice, this teleportation area doesn't carry any additional children with it. Okay, that is any additional child component with it. But here in teleportation anchor, there is one child attached to the teleportation anchor by default. So that is the anchor point. Okay, so if you check this, you will have this teleport anchor transform. So this is the child. This is the component. This anchor is the one that is over here. Okay. So yes, next to adding this, one important thing that you should know is these teleportations require both the teleportation area as well as teleportation anchor require collider. Okay. So do you remember what is called as collider? What is called as collider?
No idea, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So colliders are the ones that shows an object as an object. Okay. Let's say if okay, you have seen all these ghost movies, right? The ghosts seem as if they are passing through the wall and coming through the next room, coming to the next room, like that, and all. There'll be this ghost kind of effects, right? So if you are not adding colliders to your game objects, that is any object on the scene, right? Any game object, all right. So without the colliders, the game object will not seem to be the game object. They will just be kind of object that allows the other objects to pass through. Okay, so let's say this is one object and this has a collider, right? And this has a box collider. So in case if it doesn't have box collider, all right. So how the objects will look like is these objects that are on top of this object will be able to pass through this object. This won't even be recognized as an object. This will be just as any any other object that lets some other objects to pass through it. Okay, that is why we are using colliders for or any kind of game object. Okay, so there are many types of colliders available. Okay, I'll just show it here. Don't do this step. I'm just doing it to show to you. Okay, let me randomly select a cube. Okay, as of now, there is a box collider for the cube. Okay, so yeah. So as you see, there are so many types of colliders available: box collider and capsule collider, then mesh collider is there, sphere collider is there, terrain collider, wheel collider, right? So many types of colliders are available. So whichever game object you are dealing with, you can have that collider for your game object. Okay, let's say if I am bringing some other prefab or some other FBX into my scene. Okay, so by default, whatever game objects are available here in Unity will have colliders attached to them. Okay, so just for an example, I'm showing. Don't do all these steps. So in case if I am importing a sphere. Okay, as soon as I import a sphere, there comes this sphere collider attached with the sphere itself. Okay, so in case if I am adding a cube, all right, for cube there is a box collider. All right, so in case I'm adding a cylinder, for cylinder there is a capsule collider that is attached with the component itself. So whatever game objects you attach with, whatever default objects that you attach in Unity, they will carry colliders with them by default. In case if you are bringing any additional FBX, you have to import one additional collider. Okay, they won't contain colliders. So to do it, what you have to do, you have to, after dropping the FBX here in your hierarchy, you have to select it and then go here to the inspector panel. Okay, and give add component, add collider, any type of collider. Don't add 2D, okay, because you are working on 3D project. So don't add the colliders with the name of 2D here. Other than that, you can add any collider that seems to suit your mod. Okay, right. Further to saying the colliders, what I told you is this teleportation area and teleportation anchor require colliders to be present. Okay, so whatever that is, in case, as I told you, if you are bringing external FBX, right? So make sure that they have colliders and you need to attach one additional component to the other objects. Okay, so let's say now we have this teleportation area and teleportation anchor. Okay, so in case if we are adding a cube. Okay. All right, so I'll just tell you what it is about. So there are two ways. Okay, one is shortcut and one is the procedural way. All right. So the shortcut is simply create teleportation area or teleportation anchor. All right. So that you will be able to teleport in that area or in that anchor point. All right. So in case if you are bringing one, okay, here itself I have a cube, right? Let me zoom into it. So here itself I have a cube. So let me scale it a bit. All right. So my cube is this big. Okay. And I want to give interaction for my users on this cube itself. Okay. Let's just assume that my users should be able to walk around this cube itself. All right. So then what I should do is I should make sure that there is a collider attached to this cube. Okay, so this is the cube and this is the properties of the cube. And yeah, to make sure one box collider is attached to the cube. All right. So added to this, I need to add one additional component. Okay, that is teleportation area. Okay, so only if you add, you will be able to give teleportation for this particular area. Are you understanding this? Has anyone got any doubt?
Teleportation area means actually we are creating that space for our object movement
Yes.
only we are creating it.
Yes, ma'am. I can I tell it? I mean, can I consolidate it once again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So teachers, please make sure that you are fine with listening. Okay. So I'll say it from the beginning. So teleportation is the concept that you give your users, that is your application users, to move inside your scene. Okay, this is different from augmented reality. So as I told you, virtual reality is complete, I mean, is a complete different world that makes you feel as if you are present inside that world. Okay, so in real world, what do? We walk, we see the objects. In case if we are, I mean, if we want to grab something that is very far from us, we just walk near to it and then we pick it up. So all these things we do, right? So the same actions we will be able to do inside our VR headsets through this teleportation concept. Okay, so teleportation is a concept that lets you move around your virtual reality scene. Okay, so in case if you want to bring one teleportation area to your scene, okay, so to do it, what you have to do is here in your hierarchy, go to this XR and import this teleportation area component. Okay, so what this component does is, as the name says, it is an area. It is not a particular place. Okay, it is an area where it lets you teleport. It lets you move. Okay, as I showed you in this video, wherever you want to move, you will be able to move inside the scene. Okay, it won't be limited. So wherever you want to move inside, you will be able to move closely and then see the objects. Okay, so this is what this teleportation area does. Right. So by default, when you import this teleportation area here, by default in the inspector, this will add teleportation area script to your game object that is here. Okay. So the other type of thing is teleportation anchor. So teleportation anchor is the concept that is used uh, to let you move to some particular point. Okay, other than that point, you won't be able to move anywhere else. So that is the thing. So in case if you want to let your users move to one particular point, you can use this teleportation anchor. All right. In case if you are having one additional object. Okay, so let's say okay, let's just imagine we are having one big tree. Okay, so we have a tree prefab. Okay, just imagine. I will hide all this. I will going to plain all these together. I will also hide. Okay. Now we just have this big tree in our scene. Okay. In case if we want our users to go around this tree and see the tree from all the directions. Okay. Then what we can do is we need to add a collider for this tree. Okay, so first thing is we should make sure that there is some collider for the game object. Okay, so to do it, we need to go here, then add component. So what we'll do, I'll just have this mesh collider. Okay, so that is with the mesh itself, it seems as if it is attached. Okay, then after adding collider, and I need to add one more component, that is the teleportation area, teleportation area. Okay, so what this does is by adding this teleportation area, whatever we did over here, okay, the same function it also gives. But the thing is, since the model is external, you need to additionally add it here so that the users will be able to view just this area, whatever you, I mean, wherever you have added the teleportation area component. Was it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll just edit this. Right. So now as I told you, let's just assume if I want to give access to my users to move around this entire cube. Okay, so then I just can attach this teleportation area to my cube specifically. Okay, so that even though the users will be able to move here in the teleportation area, additionally, I mean, in addition to it, they will also feel to move inside. I mean, they will also be able to move inside this cube. Okay, only when we add this teleportation area to our game object. Okay, right. Then what we'll do is in case, okay, now we'll concentrate on a teleportation anchor. Okay, so teleportation area, it is all this. The concept is the player will be able to move in the area wherever we have allotted for teleportation. That is the thing. All right. So now we'll go to this teleportation anchor. So as I told you, this teleportation anchor will let you move in that particular anchor point. Okay, so this blue box, wherever this blue box is, that is the anchor point. Okay, so wherever this anchor point is, the user will be able to move on the anchor point. So let's say the user is somewhere here in this area, in this teleportation area. All right. So from here, if the user is I mean, if the user requires to move here, all right, so just in one click, the user will be able to move to this anchor point. All right, then if you, okay, now if you want to set the rotation at anchor tool, all right, so here in the anchor tool itself, if you want to set rotation, that is the player should be able to rotate he should be able to rotate in the around the anchor point itself. Okay, so as I told you, this teleportation area is different, right? So in this teleportation area, whichever direction the user wants to, he can move and rotate and see. But here in the anchor point, he will just be teleported to one place only. So from here, if the user wants to look around. Okay, so he needs to rotate, right? So to do that, what we'll do is we'll go to this teleportation anchor and okay, here we'll be able to find an option called as match orientation. Okay. Right. So here we have this match orientation. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So here in this match orientation, it will be set to world face up. Okay, I mean usually it will be set to none. Okay, if it is set to none, you can set it to world space up. All right, so which in turn it lets to view things from the camera view. All right, so this is one step that you can follow in the teleportation anchor. All right, okay. Till now, we have seen how the raycast will help us teleport from one place to another place, right? So now, in case if there is an obstacle in between the teleportation area, okay, so now just imagine there is an obstacle here in the teleportation area. This white thing is the teleportation area, right? So in case if there is an obstacle, okay, what I'll do, I'll just import a cube. I will scale it. Okay. Just imagine that there is a wall here. Okay. So this wall has to be considered as an obstacle, right? So in case if the object, if the ray cast passes through this obstacle, will it look good? It is going to give you a ghost appearance, right? So it won't look good if the raycast passes through this. Okay. So we need to do is whichever game object we are interacting with. All right. So now let's say we are interacting with this sphere game object. Okay, that is we'll just grab this game object and I mean with the raycast and we are teleporting inside this area, this game object. Okay, so how we can avoid that particular area alone as an obstacle. Okay, so what we'll do is we need to go to the game object. I mean, whichever game object you don't want to be teleported through. Okay, so if we don't want this wall to pass through this wall, okay, so we need to select the game object which we don't want it to pass through the obstacle. In our case, it is this sphere. All right. So now what we'll do, okay, now we need to turn off the teleportation for this area alone. All right. So to do it, what we have to do, select the game object that we don't want to be teleported. Okay, that is the object where we don't want the teleportation to happen. Okay, we need to select that object And in the hierarchy, here in the top right corner, you will find an option as layer. Okay, so by default, it will be for all the type. I mean, any game object that you select, it will be set to. Now we need to click default, and here if we check, there are so many layers. Okay, so these are all of the default. All right, so we need to add one additional layer to this. Okay, so to do it, what we'll do, we'll just give. Okay, then it will give you some these of can add a layer. Okay, now I'll add in this sixth layer. So let me name the layer something else. Okay, let me layer as obstacle. All right. Now we'll get back to this here. We have added the layer obstacle to our layers. Okay, now we need to switch to this from default. Be default. So from default, we need to switch to obstacle. Okay. After switching to obstacle, what you need to do is go to this right teleport ray option. Okay. So in this right teleport ray option, what you need to do is go to the infect of the right teleport ray, and here layer mask. There will be an option called as interaction. By default, it will be set to everything. Okay, so you need to click this drop down. So now click this drop down. Here you will find the layer, the obstacle. Okay, you need to check this. Okay, so what it does is the obstacle, it is a layer mask. Okay, so whichever is termed as the obstacle, it will not pass through that layer. Okay, so when you bring the raycast will not seem to pass through this. Okay, it will just uh, stop till this. Okay, so wherein this wall will be termed as an obstacle for this particular game object. Okay, is it fine?
Ma'am, you are giving obstacle, no, ma'am. So how it knows that we are given that obstacle for this cube? I didn't get it, ma'am, that one.
Yeah, actually, we are defining this. For the raycast, we are defining this one as the obstacle. Okay, so whenever we are so to be okay, we'll just consolidate it again. So we have an obstacle over here, right? So as I told you, this has a collider, right? So
Yes.
as I also told you that teleportation requires collider, right? So there, when this sphere also has a collider attached to it, right? So how we are defining this as an obstacle for this one is just by filtering the collider based on the layers.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So to do it, we need to have one layer for the object that we are interacting with. So we won't be interacting with this cube. We will just be interacting with this ball object. Okay.
Yes.
So to do it, we are adding one new layer. And here in the teleport ray, we are not dealing with the cube that is over here. We are just dealing with the game object and the ray cast.
Okay. Okay.
We are defining that there is some obstacle for this object in this teleport ray. And that is the layer that we are defining over here. I mean, in over here in the layer mask.
Okay, ma'am.
Was it fine or? Okay. You will be able to, okay, what I'll do is I'll finish off this session, I'll build this scene and then I'll show it to you, then you will be able to understand.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right. So the next thing is, like, what we'll do next. Okay, right. We will select this right teleportation ray itself. Okay, so in this right teleportation ray, we will choose this X-ray, sorry, XR ray interactor. Okay, so in this XR ray interactor, you will have this. You'll have this option called as selection action trigger. Okay.
Ma'am, it was up, ma'am. Scroll up, ma'am. Yeah. Selection configuration.
Oh,
Under.
yes, yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. So you'll have this option, selection action trigger. Okay. So usually it is set to state. Okay. Sorry. Usually it will be set to state change, right? So you need to set it to state. So what does this option does to us is, in case if we are not in the area where we have activated teleportation. Okay, now just imagine we are somewhere here in the black plane. Okay, so just with one grab, we will be able to move to the place where the teleportation is activated. Okay, so that is how, I mean, that is what this selection action trigger does. So it will be set to state change. You need to set it to state, right? So wherever you are just clicking, I mean, in the inaccessible ray for the teleportation, if you just move your raycast to the selected I mean, to the accessible area, you will be able to move to the teleported area. All right. So this is what this option does. Okay. Now there is one another thing that you can use in teleportation. Okay. So what is that is you can change the XR ray interactor. Okay. So here it is. So here you have this line type in the very same option for in this XR ray interactor. You will have this one called as raycast configuration, and under this raycast configuration, you will have this line type option. So there are so many types of lines. Okay, so usually it is set to straight line. That is, as I showed you here, okay, the line will seem to be straight. Okay, in case if we want it to appear something curved like this, okay, that is in case if we are dealing with some flexible objects and all, to give that a realistic feeling, a straight ray cast will be very artificial, right? So to bring something, yeah, as you see here, to bring some curve like this for your ray cast, what you can do is here in the line type, you can change it to projectile curve. Okay, and here you can change the velocity, acceleration, and also velocity when it just changes the curve's length. Okay, where the curve should happen, if the curve should be short or if the curve should be too big or something. In case if you are building a game for fishing, okay. So for fishing, usually that fishing rod has a thread that is very long, right? So then you need to have velocity like 16 or 20. So where the curve happens at a long distance. Okay. But in case if you are dealing with some other objects that are very near, then you might have to reduce the velocity to half of this, maybe 8. Okay, so that the curve appears to be so near us. All right. And you have this line renderer. Okay, so this line renderer lets you choose which color your line should be. Okay, that is this raycast. Okay, now this is in orange color and we saw some other colors also, right? So this line renderer lets you choose the color. So using the color picker. Okay, so if you are having this kind of gradients color, then while at the start it will be in green color and towards the end of the raycast it will look like blue and things of this sort. Okay, you can just explore with the multiple aesthetics option. Okay, but the way how the teleportation is done is like this. Was it fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now what we'll do is I'll stop. Okay. You can work on this. Meanwhile, I'll try to build a scene and then show it to you so that you will get one better understanding of this. Okay, teachers. So we'll work in that. All right. Meanwhile, if you are having any doubt also, you can ask me.
Sure, ma'am.
Does anyone want to share your screen and show something or ask something?
Can I share the screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So here this teleportation area is showing as black color only.
No, you just need to pull it a bit, ma'am. So as you see the position here in the, just observe the transform options of that teleportation area. You need to pull it above. Yeah.
Pulling it.
Can you make it to 0 here in y-axis, ma'am? No, not the scale one, the position.
Okay, now the color got changed.
Ma'am, as I told you, you should always access the axis using their respective arrows, ma'am. If you are holding it in the middle, this is what happens. So once you are, once you get into the intermediate state or advanced state, from the beginner, you will know where to place it and how the objects will look like when you place where.
Okay, now
Yeah, you have to move using the arrows. So that is why I always show you moving and all using the arrows.
Okay, okay. Similarly, this capsule, no ma'am, if I bring from here, sometimes it's not visible properly. Why?
Which means it is, again, you are doing the same mistake, ma'am.
Okay.
You have to move it according to the arrows. So here it seems that it is too below. Just observe the position of the game object, ma'am.
Sure.
Always you should be concentrating on the transform options, the position, rotation, and scale.
Okay, now if I bring, it's coming. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. And one more thing, ma'am. Now I can see that you have used a lot of capsules here in your scene, right?
Yeah.
So instead of having those many capsules, as you have made the sphere and all prefab, you can also make prefab for the capsule so that you can use it multiple times of however you want to use it. So that there won't be any more of memory consumption.
Okay. I'm not getting, ma'am. Here I am having capsules 5.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have imported some so
5
many
capsules.
capsules,
5,
6
6.
capsules, 6 capsules, right? So
Okay.
in case if one capsule is going to cost you 1 MB, okay. So 6 capsules will cost you 6 MB, which in turn, this itself will give you a lot of memory. So for
Okay.
that, what you have to do is select one capsule,
Okay. Like
yeah,
this.
drag it and drop it in your assets folder.
Okay.
Yeah, now this capsule has been converted into a prefab. Now what you can do is delete all the other capsules. You can control plus delete.
So from here I can take.
Yeah, you can drag it and drop it here in the hierarchy.
Okay.
Hierarchy, ma'am. If you are dropping it
Okay.
directly in your scene, again the position issue will come.
Okay. Now I can delete this.
Yes, ma'am.
How can I delete this?
You need to delete it from the
Hierarchy.
yeah.
From here I can take.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. Drag it and drop it in the hierarchy, and then you can use it. Yeah, you can scale it in whatever way you want to. All the things you can do with the capsule.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you, ma'am. Okay, teachers, one thing is, as I have set scene randomly in my Unity project, you should not do it in the very same way. Okay, if you are dealing with mechanical department, you can try to bring a scene of a workshop as I showed you, right? So there can be a plane and there can be some machines FBX imported in the plane. Okay, so that when you are activating the teleportation option, then you will be able to go near the machine and view it however you will view it in the real world. Okay, in case if you are dealing with computer science, plan of some scene that is related with computer science.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, I just share my screen. Actually, previously I did lot of things, but now it is not visible. Just 1 minute, please
Yeah,
check it.
yeah.
See here, plane. I think everything is not coming. Previously it was coming.
Okay.
What happened here? I don't know.
Okay.
I created all the things. Plane also. Whatever steps you told.
Okay, can you
Still
press yes, ma'am? Can you press yes?
in the plane, I choose and press yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah.
Nothing happened, ma'am.
It's happening. Okay, ma'am, do one thing. Just save the scene.
Yes.
Control plus S. Sorry, control plus S.
Save. Okay, save, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah.
save this.
Yeah. Now close this.
Uh,
Close
I
the
will-
project and reopen it, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Just a minute, ma'am. Don't right away reopen. Go to your desktop and then refresh it.
Okay, I need to refresh all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, before that, can you go to search bar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Type person.
Which one?
Percent. No. A percent icon. Symbol.
Okay. Which icon? That hub, ma'am. Hub you are
No,
telling.
ma'am. Shift plus shift and 5 together.
Shift
Shift
5.
and 5.
Shift 5. Yes, ma'am.
In the search bar, ma'am.
Shift 5.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, ma'am. Shift 5. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. TEMP. Yeah, you have TEMP again percent. Shift 5. Enter.
Again, temp, ma'am. No, it's enough.
No, enter.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And Shift A. Sorry, Control A.
Control A. Okay.
Delete.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, ma'am. I need to skip it, ma'am.
Yeah, do this for all current items. Check that box and do this for all current items. And then give skip.
Okay, ma'am. I close, ma'am.
Is it over, ma'am? No, it is not yet
No.
over.
Okay.
Okay, it clears all your unwanted memory and things, ma'am.
Unity Hub, I need to home.
Yeah. You can close this folder now, ma'am. You can close the temp folder.
Oh, the folder I need to close. Okay, previous folder. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am, yeah, your Unity is opening.
Yes, ma'am. But actually, 19 only I choose. This actually I choose in that room. 1 minute, ma'am.
Skip new version.
Yes, ma'am. That 19 version only I'm choosing. Previously.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now press S.
Just a plain option I choose and press left, ma'am.
Or else do one thing, ma'am. Go to your play mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Please stop the play mode.
Turn off. Okay, ma'am.
What is this XR interaction manager, ma'am?
Here, ma'am.
What is it? Why have you attached it?
You told that steps, ma'am. Based on the steps, ma'am, I included.
Interaction manager.
I need to delete it, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Previously, everything component visible. Now it is not visible. Why it is not visible? I don't know.
Okay. Give me a moment.
I think all are going down, ma'am. I think.
Okay, just a minute, ma'am. No, the position are all fine only. So I'm just checking. Please wait a minute. Okay. Can you go to the layers in the top right?
Uh,
Yeah, go to the default. I mean, check if all the layers are, I mean, all the things are in default.
all things I need to check it, ma'am.
Yeah, check one by one.
Plane also default. Everything default only.
Just a minute, ma'am. Mahendra, sir, I guess we can stop recording because uh, the class, whoever is ready can share your screen.
Shall I need to share my screen, ma'am, or?
Yeah, whoever is ready can share, ma'am, so that other teachers can see. Okay, before that, have you all come back? Okay, we'll start the thing. Ma'am, before that, where are you? I mean, which project are you in?
Ma'am?
Yeah, Shiv Shankari, ma'am. In which
Uh,
project are you in? Are you in today's thing or the first days also is gone?
ma'am, today thing only I'm asking, ma'am. Today thing, can
Yeah.
you repeat the steps? Today morning, what you discussed that?
Yeah, I can. But before that, it needs a basic setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I need to share my screen, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. Now, is this that sample scene that you were working on? Kindly open your scenes folder in the assets folder.
1 minute, ma'am.
Open it, double click and open
Yes, ma'am.
it. Okay. So we'll do one thing, ma'am. Delete of this teleportation area, teleportation anchor,
Mm.
cube 2,
Mm.
delete,
Delete. Okay, ma'am.
and go to VR rig,
Mm.
open it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, delete of this right teleport tray.
Yes, ma'am.
Do one thing, ma'am. Delete of the other objects to sphere till capsule. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Shift, hold
Okay.
shift and
Yes, ma'am.
done. All right. Now delete of that plane and create a new plane.
I need to create now. Okay.
Kindly reset the position, ma'am.
Yes,
Here in the no, ma'am. Here in your inspector panel of that plane,
ma'am.
in the transform option, you have the 3 dots.
Yes,
Click
ma'am.
it and reset. Now locate wherever the plane is. No, ma'am, you are pulling it in y-axis.
It should be good.
No,
Okay.
ma'am, just set it to 0 in the position.
Yes, ma'am.
Toggle the screen, ma'am. Hold Alt and then your left mouse button.
What, ma'am?
Alt plus left mouse button.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now toggle your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Is okay, ma'am?
No, ma'am, pull it a bit down and yeah, fine.
It's fine. Fine. Okay.
Can you press F, ma'am? F.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's working, ma'am. You're working.
Okay. Now again, press your Alt and left mouse button and pull it a bit down. Okay. Now do one thing, ma'am. Press Alt and your scroller
Mm.
and bring it near you, ma'am.
Is it fine, ma'am?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Leave me like this. But why isn't the plane visible? Okay. Can you go to your camera?
VR camera.
Yeah. Secondly, can you go to your game mode, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Which one, ma'am?
Game mode. Go to your game panel. Yeah. No, ma'am. Select your game panel next to your scene panel. There is game panel. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Sheshankari, ma'am, I'll do one thing. I'm not very sure why is why are the objects not seen? So I have tried so many methods in this, but still we are not able to
But
find
otherwise,
it
better
out.
I will create a new one, ma'am. Then it is fine.
Yeah, we'll do one thing, ma'am. We'll ask someone to share screen now. Okay,
ma'am.
once I repeat the process, then I will sit individually with you and then we'll work on this, ma'am. Is it
Okay,
okay?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am.
Yeah.
So now you will start beginning, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Can someone else share your screen, teachers? Whoever is set the project till now. If you haven't worked in the morning along with me, that is very fine. You can share your screen. Teachers, don't hesitate. I will be guiding you. Please share your screen if you are available.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, Sankula, ma'am.
Ma'am, the XR interaction toolkit. That morning you told about that in 2020 itself we can find, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want to share your screen, ma'am?
sure, ma'am. Mm. Okay. In the package manager, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Here, towards your right, there is
Oh.
one settings icon, no, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Oh.
Advanced project
I am
settings.
looking that advanced that settings only I missed, and that I written that in advance have to pick the show preview.
Yeah, yeah. Here itself, below, in the package manager itself that is displayed, below
Yes.
it, you have this advanced settings. In that, take that enable package manage preview
Oh.
packages.
Okay, ma'am.
I understand. Yeah. So now close this and go to your package manager and type close this tab. Yeah.
Okay.
Now type XR interaction toolkit. Okay. No, still it is not enabled, ma'am.
Okay.
Do one thing, ma'am. Close this package manager. Open it again.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Now again go to settings icon.
One second.
Settings. Yeah. Advanced project settings. Yeah.
It's enabled only, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Now close it. Now search XR interaction toolkit. Okay. Here towards your left,
Okay.
there is one plus icon, no, ma'am. Next to it, there is one packages in
Yes,
project.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, change it to Unity registry.
Sure, ma'am.
Now search XR interaction toolkit. Yeah, interaction.
Yes,
toolkit.
ma'am. Yes. Got it.
Yeah, install.
I couldn't find
Below.
it. Okay, okay. I'm looking for the keyword import.
Okay. So you need to set that day's project itself, ma'am. We'll do one thing. Is anyone ready to share your screen, teachers, other than? When we have set up first day's project and yet to set today's project. Teachers, don't worry, no one, you are not going to be judged. You can share your screen. I'm waiting for someone to answer. Anyone who has set first day's project, that is.
Ma'am, I will show, ma'am. Here it's loading, ma'am. I will share, ma'am.
No, Hansila, ma'am. The thing is, after you install the interaction toolkit, again you have to do the process that we did day before yesterday. So then only you will be able to set for today's project. That is the thing.
Okay, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Any other teachers? Lakshmi Priya, ma'am, can you ask someone? Adita, ma'am, are you talking something? I'm not able to hear
No,
you.
no, ma'am, no, ma'am. Can I share, ma'am? Actually, I have completed.
Yeah, sure. Um, you have said today's thing also, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. No, the thing is, I want someone who haven't started with today's project so that I can explain.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, as Shiva Shankari ma'am did day before yesterday, as I guided, she was doing things simultaneously. So someone who can do that.
Okay, ma'am, I'll start.
Or Adita ma'am, if you find deleting whatever you have done for today and starting again.
Otherwise, can I do a new one, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Better we can do new one means again we will understand. Yeah,
Okay, Shiva Shankari ma'am, you can share your screen then.
Mm.
Okay, we'll just try to cover today's thing alone. Okay. So people who have done day before yesterday's project needn't confuse much. Okay.
I will create new scene, ma'am. Then it is fine.
Yeah, okay.
New scene. Okay.
Kindly save the scene as some VR scene or something.
Under the scene folder. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. You can give any file name.
VR. Okay. VR.
Okay. Now you can delete the main camera. Okay, and you need to okay. I'll do one thing. We'll just quickly glance through that day's thing also so that we won't miss the continuity.
Tell
Okay.
me, ma'am. I will do that.
All right.
Whatever you tell, I will do.
Okay. So the first thing is to install the packages for VR. Okay, teachers don't confuse this. It's day before yesterday's thing. Okay, right. So go to Windows Package Manager and there. Okay, let it load. Right. So here you have advanced.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Search as XR Interaction Toolkit. XR Interaction Toolkit. Yeah. Okay,
XR.
it is already there. All right.
I need to close it.
Now,
Ma'am.
now you can close it and go to project settings, XR plugin management,
Where, ma'am?
window, sorry, edit project settings.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
do we need to install these things whenever we are creating new scene?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am, not like that.
Okay. Okay.
It's already done for the project. I am just cross-checking it, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So these things are already done, ma'am. You can you shift to Android over here and check if Oculus is checked? Yeah, it is done. All right. Now what you can do is go to go to hierarchy and right click and 3D plane. Reset its position, ma'am. Yeah. It's not seen. Okay. Ma'am, there is something that you have changed in the project, ma'am. I am not very sure of what you dealt with. I will have to uh, see it properly and then I should tell you, ma'am. Shiv Shankari, ma'am, can you do one thing? Close this project and open a new project, ma'am. Open a new project immediately now. You can open in 2020 version itself, not an issue. Give new project, new. Yeah. That's fine. Create a new, give some project name.
Ma'am, okay?
Yes. Ma'am. Let it open.
Yes. It's opening, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. No, ma'am, don't create.
Hmm.
No, close.
Just to open, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Just close it. Close.
I think it's opened.
Scroll above, ma'am. In Unity Hub, scroll above.
I'm using that 19 version only I did, ma'am.
Yeah, here below you have this VR.
Yeah, settings. ma'am.
Last one.
Mm,
Yeah. So that is a project you need to. Yeah.
mm.
Okay. It's open. All right. So now again go to Windows Package Manager, shift to Preview Packages. Okay, now search for XR Interaction Toolkit. Let it load. It is loading. Yeah, XR Interaction Toolkit. Okay, do one thing. Here in your advanced, there is an option called it advanced, right? There, take that show preview packages. Yeah. Yeah, now we have got interaction toolkit. Select install.
Ma'am, what is the purpose of this package, ma'am? This is specifically for doing VR projects.
Yes, ma'am.
XR interaction toolkit.
Yeah, what it does is it lets you, I mean, it gives you so many different options for creating interactions inside your VR scene. So it will not be, it is not like a AR project where you just view it or do things, no. It inside VR, you will tend to interact with the objects. Yes, ma'am, give yes. Yeah, so inside VR, you will interact with the objects whichever are present inside the scene. So that is why this interaction toolkit has got, now wait, ma'am, it will open its own. Yeah. So here with this interaction toolkit, as it says, it's a toolkit. It is a package of tools that are responsible for creating interactions inside VR scene. So whenever you are dealing with VR projects, this is the process that you should follow to set your VR project, basic project.
Okay, ma'am. While adding the objects and all, you just explain what is the need for that objects again, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Now, if they search for the XR interaction toolkit, just we'll check if it is imported. Search
Yes.
in the search bar, ma'am.
Mm.
XR interaction toolkit.
Yes, there, ma'am.
Okay, done. Close this. And go to your edit project settings. Okay, over here we need to go to last one, XR plugin management, and install XR plugin management.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, how to in the asset material folder has been created. Okay, now the how to make the plane as a black, ma'am?
You need to apply material on it, ma'am. You just need to drag the material and drop it on the plane. I mean, for that, first you need to create a material. So inside that materials folder, right click, create material.
Created, ma'am. In the asset folder created, material folder was created.
Yeah, inside that material folder, you have to go right click and give create.
Okay, ma'am.
And then in that create options, you will, I mean, in that create option, you will have multiple other options.
Yes, ma'am.
From that, you have to give material. And then a new material will be created.
Yes.
For that new material, you can choose any color from the color picker. Then you
Okay.
have to drag that material and drop it on the plane.
Done, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So
Ma'am, close it, ma'am. This one, XR plugin management.
no reference. Okay, can we close it? No, ma'am. So please wait a minute. Go to edit. Sorry, project settings, and then Now enable this Oculus. After that, switch to Android and enable Oculus there too.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can close it. Now right click, okay, 3D object plane.
Yeah, it's coming.
Alright. Yeah. Now apply some material on the plane. It's not actually mandatory, it's up to you.
Hmm.
Just to differentiate, I'm telling you.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now we can delete the main camera. Okay, so now we are going to set the player area, that is where the player will be located inside the VR scene, right? So to do it, what we should do is we should first set an empty game object. So to create an empty game object, go to hierarchy, right click and create empty. And name it as XR rig or VR rig something. VR rig you can give.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. The left-hand controller as well as the right-hand controller both are by the empty game object or?
Yes, ma'am, empty game object.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So now in this VR rig, you can you need to check the position. Okay, it's set to 000. So now you need to add one more component here as the child of VR rig. So right click, create empty, and rename it as camera offset. Okay, so now here go to VR rig. Okay, so here go to inspector panel and give add component. Yeah. Search for XR rig. All right. So now here what we are doing is so rig is called as is defined for the player's position. So who is going to be the player is the one who is wearing the headset is going to be the player. So, to define the player, his offset, and the camera that he will be dealing with, all these things will be included here in the XR rig component. Okay. So as you see here, this is one C# script. Okay, this XR rig is C# script. So I told you no, Revati ma'am, when you install some toolkit, it means that it has all the essential tools that are required for performing that particular action, right? So to make a player move, to make a player see things, everything will be included here in this XR rig. In the pre-made C# scripts. Okay, so these are all default scripts that come along with the toolkit that you install. Okay, it is not that it always. The default scripts are always attached to any type of component that you are dealing with. It is not at all that. So it is specific. So wherever it is required over there, the default scripts will be there. Okay. So for some time, you have to create script by your own, right? So here we are dealing with the default script. Okay. Now, right, we'll go to
Ma'am,
the
excuse
next.
me, ma'am.
Yes, Angela.
After opting the XR direct interactor, it was selected. Okay. After
Now, I do
that,
one thing.
okay.
We are just looking through the process. Okay. So
Okay.
I hope whatever you are dealing with will be covered in the revision that we are doing. So you
Okay.
can just see the step-by-step process in the session now.
Okay, ma'am.
Is that fine, ma'am? Yeah. Okay. Now what we'll do is now after adding XR rig, we need to. we have created this camera offset. Can you, okay, the position is in 000, right? So now this this camera offset, as a parent, we are going to create one child. Okay, that is one another empty game object, and we are going to rename it as VR camera. Okay, so this VR camera is going to act as the player's eyes. Okay, now what we'll do is we need to bring the rotation and all for the player, whoever is seeing through the camera, right? So to do it, what we are going to add, we are going to add one component, right? By selecting VR camera, go to inspector panel and search for dragged pose driver. Dragged, yeah, pose driver, yeah, that component. So we are adding this dragged pose driver component. Okay, so now here we can adjust the pose source. Okay, can you see this pose source in the dragged pose driver option now? Yeah, it's the second option. Can you expand it? Okay, so here as you see, the I mean, the pose that you need to give, that is whether you're going to concentrate only for the left eye or right eye or the center eye or the head position are you planning for, or the color camera that you are planning for. All the customizations you can do it here in the dragged pose driver. Okay, as of now, we will leave it to the center eye because our vision is going to be towards the center. We are not concentrating on any one position. Okay, right. So next to this, we'll add one more component to this VR camera. So give add component and type as camera. Yeah. Okay. So we have attached the camera component to our VR camera. Right. Now what we're going to do is go back to VR rig. Okay, so here in the inspector panel, in the XR rig component, there are two game objects that are empty. Okay, the camera floor offset and the camera game object. So for that, what we are going to do is, from the hierarchy, we are going to drag the camera offset and drop it here in the camera floor offset in XR rig. Yeah, great. So the same way, we are going to drag our VR camera and drop it here in the camera game object. Yeah, great. All right. So now, after doing this, what we need to do is, now again, go to, okay, here in the tracking origin mode, okay, in the XR rig component, you need to change it from device to floor. Okay, so what is this option doing is it defines the tracking mode. Okay, so if you are having it to the device, okay, so whichever that is, it focuses on 3 DOF as I told you. In case if you are switching it to floor, it focuses on 6 DOF. That is 3 DOF is where no movement is phased inside the scene if you are moving physically outside the VR headset. That is, when you are wearing VR headset and physically if you are moving forward, then you will not find any difference inside your VR scene. Okay, but 6 DOF is where if when you are physically moving in the real world, the VR scene that you are seeing inside also will physically tend to move forward. Okay, so that is why we are changing this from device to floor. All right. So the next thing is going to be here in the camera offset. By selecting the camera offset, we are going to create another two empty game objects. Okay. So yeah, create empty game objects. and name them as left hand controller and right hand controller. And right hand controller. Okay, yes. Now select both these two controllers, shift select. Okay. Now go to inspector panel and give add component, because this component is going to be common for both the left hand controller and right hand controller. So now what component we are going to add is XR controller. So it's not XR controller. Device based. Okay, and then now again what you need to do is add component again and give XR direct interactor. Direct interactor. So this direct interactor component lets you interact with the game object. Okay. So now okay, now select only this left hand controller. Yeah. Now here in the inspector panel, go to the XR controller component. Yeah. There you will find this option controller node. Controller node. Yeah. Change it to left hand. Great. And then come to right hand controller. Yeah. Now, okay, it is the right hand only. You can leave it off as such. All right. The next thing we are going to have some representation of the hand. Okay. So we'll be, I mean, in future we'll be adding one hand representation itself. But as of now, we will represent some other game object as our hand inside the VR scene. Okay. So to do it, we need to have in a prefab of any 3D object. Okay, so right click in your hierarchy, 3D object, import any 3D object. That is any solid object like cube, capsule. Okay, so now we'll scale this cube. We'll scale. Okay. No, ma'am, just press F. F. Yeah, great. Go to scale tool, press R. Press R. Okay. Now
Go to scale tool, press R, ma'am.
R is scale tool. You have manually pressed it, not
Yes,
me.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That is-
Now bring an appearance as if it looks like some vertical box, some box that is lengthier, not
Yes.
breadth.
Yes, ma'am. So I need to rotate, ma'am.
Scale it down in x-axis. Scale it down. Yeah. Even more. Yeah, even more. Yeah. You can even more scale it down, I think. Okay, okay, enough. Now scale it down in y-axis. But scale it down
Down. Okay, okay. Sorry.
even more now. You should also calculate the distance wherever the orange line covers.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you should not see the, you should not see the height that you are able to see above the grid. It is not like that. Even more, man. Make it look like a box. Yeah, you can press W. Bring it above in y-axis. Y-axis. Green,
Yes,
green.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done. Okay, now what you do is here drag. Okay, in the assets folder, create one new folder. Name it as prefabs. Okay, yeah. Drag the cube from hierarchy and drop it inside this prefabs folder. Yeah. Now you can delete the cube.
Here.
Yeah, from the hierarchy. Okay. Now what you do is go to your left hand controller and right hand controller, shift select. Okay. Now scroll a bit down in your inspector panel. Yeah, stop it there. Now drag this cube from the prefabs folder and drop it here in the model prefab option. Yeah. So why are we doing this is inside we are seeing we won't know if our controllers are connected. Okay. So outside, I mean physically we'll have a vibration when the controllers are connected. There will be lights displayed when the controllers are connected. But inside we are seeing you will not know if your controllers are actually connected. So you need to represent your controller through your hand. Okay, so to represent your hand, we are having the cube here as a model prefab. Okay, so in the later class, we will integrate one hand model itself here in the model prefab. Okay, so as of now, it is fine. Right. Now what we'll do is, okay, now we'll create one basic setup. Okay, so to do it, what we'll do, we'll just, ma'am, can you right click here in hierarchy and import a sphere?
I need to right click
3D,
here.
3D
Right.
object, sphere.
Sphere. Okay.
Okay, scale it down. R.
Okay.
Okay, even more.
It's enough, ma'am.
Scale it down now, scale it
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Okay, done. Enough now. So pull it a bit up. You can use the shortcuts now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now what we'll do is, alright, so here for this one, we will add a rigid body component. Okay, for this sphere, we'll add rigid body component. So you need to go to inspector panel, give add component and search for rigid body. Yeah. Okay, done. Now what we'll do is, okay, so here in the sphere collider, just enable, I mean, turn on this is trigger option now.
This ma'am. Which one? I didn't understand.
In
Which
the
one?
top, in the, I mean, you have the sphere collider option now.
Sphere color. By this
Sphere
one, ma'am.
collider, not that one, ma'am. Sphere
Yeah.
collider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Turn on that is trigger.
Figure. I just click it, ma'am.
No, you have an option for is trigger.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay. Now, you just change the radius as 0.2.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, fine. All right. Now we can even add the weight for
Ma'am,
this.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is trigger after that what I have to do, ma'am?
You need to change the radius to 0.2.
Okay.
That is, we are changing the radius of the sphere collider. Okay. Right. Now, we can also increase the weight of this sphere. Okay. So to increase the weight in the rigid body component, there is an option called as mass. Okay. So you can increase the mass of the object. Yeah, see, whatever I am telling, like adding mass and changing the radius, all these things are not mandatory. Okay, up to your requirements. And see, if I cannot tell you to add mass as 10 for a playing card, right? So playing card will just be very light. So whatever mass is required for that playing card, you have to enter that mass. So in this case, it is going to be a ball. So for a ball, it might be a bit heavier than a playing card. I mean, it is way heavy than a playing card. So that is why I'm asking you to increase the mass in this case. All right. So you can actually decide what is the weight that you want to give your game object. So in this case, Shiv Shankari ma'am, it is up to you. If you want to leave the marks to 1, you can. If you want to increase it, you can also.
Shall I
do
give
it.
2 months? 2 I give.
Yeah, it is up to your choice now.
Mm.
Okay, yes. Now, after doing all these things, what we'll do is now we'll come to today's class. Okay, teleportation. So we need to teleport inside our VR scene. All right. So to do it, first step is select VR rig. Yeah, and go to add component. We need to add 2 components. So one is going to be locomotion system. Yeah. And the other one is going to be teleportation provider. Yeah. So what these two do is locomotion system, as the name says, it helps you to move. Okay. And also this teleportation provider also does the same thing. Okay. So here, when you go to play mode, can you go to, okay, till now, wait ma'am, till now in this locomotion system and the teleportation provider, there is some option called as XR rig in locomotion system and system in teleportation provider, right? So till now, both these things show none. Okay, so when you enter into the play mode, now go to the play mode, ma'am. Okay, as you see here, both this XR rig as well as system have got their own components. Okay, so that happens automatically. You needn't do it. Now we can exit from the play mode. Right. So now what we'll do is we need to import a raycast to represent our controllers. Okay. So to do it, go to hierarchy, right click XR, right click, go to XR, and here you need to choose this option, Ray Interactor. Yeah. This one, what it does is, this will automatically import the game object that is required for teleportation, right? So as you see here, it is shown as game object. The icon shows as game object in the hierarchy. Okay, and also it carries other different options that is required, that are required for teleportation. Okay, so here we need to do only one thing. Ma'am, kind of scroll up. Okay, so here this remove this XR controller action based. No, click the 3 dots and give remove component. Yeah. Now add component. Go down. Add component. Here type XR controller. Device based. Yeah. Okay. Now here in the device based, yeah, you will have this controller node. Okay, yeah, now it is set to right hand. All right. So now what we'll do is go to Ray Interactor in hierarchy and rename it as right teleport ray. So this is going to be for right hand. All right. So what we'll do, we'll set everything for one side controller, and for the other side, we will just duplicate, and wherever we need to shift, change right to as left, Over there only we will do the changes. The other things are going to be the same for both the controllers. Okay, right. So now press enter and make this right teleport ray as the child of camera offset. Great. All right. So now, after doing this, what we'll do, okay, we'll just right click in the hierarchy and then go to XR teleportation area. Teleportation area. Yeah. So, can you please zoom out a bit in your scene panel? No, ma'am. Just scroll. Use your scroller, ma'am. Are you using a mouse?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Please scroll it out, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are zooming it in. Yeah. Scroll it out.
Mm.
Okay. Now, teleportation area. Right. Can you pull the teleportation area a bit up in y-axis? In y-axis, ma'am. No. in
Sorry, sorry, ma'am.
Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Yeah, in y-axis. Okay, do one thing. Go to, no ma'am, just go to, select the teleportation area, go to your inspector panel,
1 minute, ma'am. Actually, control. It's fine, ma'am.
go to control plan panel. Sorry. Go to inspector panel.
Mm.
No ma'am, don't scroll down. Go to your transform options. In your position, adjust the y-axis as 0.001.
Position. Yes, ma'am.
No, in y-axis.
Mm.
0.001. Okay, so it is right above. So now you can scale it down, ma'am. If you want to, it is your specific, ma'am. I mean, it is person specific. If you want to have the teleportation area to be wider, to be bigger, you can just leave off the area like that. In case if you want to represent it to be small, you can just scale it down. Okay. So you can go to scale tool and then you can scale it down. It is up to your wish. Okay, this is not a mandatory thing that to do. If you want your teleportation area to be wider, you can just leave it off as such. If you don't want it to be that wide, you can shrink it down, scale it down. Ma'am, you needn't worry about it in y-axis, ma'am, because I mean scaling thing in y-axis, because this is represented as 2D.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is just an area. This is just like another plane. So you will have to worry in X and Y axis only.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you are planning to scale it down, you need to do it in X and Y axis. So you are planning to leave it off like this only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Now what we'll do is, we'll again go to hierarchy, right click, XR, teleportation anchor. Yeah. So here, okay. Now we will scale this teleportation anchor a bit. Just for us to know if the difference between both. Okay.
Is it fine, ma'am?
Yeah, fine now. So now what you do is now just turn off this. I mean, make this teleportation area disabled. Yeah.
Disable, ma'am. This one.
Yeah, disable. Yeah, that one. Okay, now can you see it is kind of both are in the same axis. So we'll select the teleportation anchor and go to inspector panel. Change the position of y-axis to 0.001. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can turn it back on. You can enable it. Enable the teleportation area. Okay. Now what we'll do is, okay. So here, okay, now in case, as I told you, in case if you want to show some obstacle, okay, that is, you don't want your game object to be teleporting in all the places. You want to show some obstacle in your scene, okay. So, ma'am, can you bring in some object as obstacle?
3D object, ma'am. 3D
Yeah.
object.
Yeah, any 3D object as obstacle.
Sphere, ma'am.
Anything that should be shown as an obstacle.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So now what we'll do is, in your hierarchy, there is a sphere already, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we'll rename it, ma'am. Okay, we'll rename the sphere to
Mm.
some other, maybe a ball or something, a ball object. Okay, so by selecting this ball game object, what we are going to do is we are okay. Ma'am, you have created this sphere game object, no?
Mm.
Okay, can you give it some material, ma'am, so that all the thing, ma'am, see where you are creating your material. You are creating your material inside your prefabs folder.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Go to your assets folder.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Give it some name and give it some color.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Name I need to give, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Now see which is the material that you are dealing with.
Oh, sorry. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is it correct, ma'am? This material only?
Yeah, how will you give the material?
This one, ma'am.
Yeah, you have selected it. How will you give it some color, some solid color?
Yeah. Alpha shadow. I pull it, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am, how will you give some solid color to your material?
Solid color. Actually, here only we selected, ma'am.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah. So this is how you will give solid color to your material. Choose some color from this. Yeah.
This was okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Fine. Now drag this material and drop it in the ball or sphere wherever you want to show difference. No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Don't do it for. You need to show some difference, ma'am. So only way to show difference is with the colors, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So for your obstacle, it should be of some other color.
So, okay, ball only.
Create some other material and allot it for this obstacle sphere. No, ma'am, you haven't allotted. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, you need not. Ma'am, see, ma'am, understand one thing clearly. Every time you need not, I mean, when you are using color picker, you needn't drag it and drop it in the albedo option.
Okay, ma'am.
Only when you are using some other 2D texture, you need to drag it and drop it in the albedo.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now you need to drag this ball thing and drop it in the obstacle sphere.
Here, ma'am.
You can drop it in the hierarchy, ma'am, so that it won't cause confusion. Yeah. Okay. Now can you press yes, ma'am? Okay, fine. And select your ball game object and press F. Okay, these things are a bit above. Okay, we'll do one thing. Ma'am, select your teleportation area. Yeah, go to your position. Yeah, change the Y position to 0.002. Okay, Now select your sphere 1. Press F. Okay, this is green. Now select your ball. Press F.
Yes, I'm pressing. It's
Okay,
not moving.
so it's
Mm.
inside. Okay, it's inside. All right, we'll change the position of the ball then. Go to X. Okay, just increase the position of X now.
So how much I give, ma'am? 1 I give.
No, what you do is take your cursor to the X letter there. No, now you are in scale tool. Now you are in scale.
This is fine. Ma'am?
Go to your inspector panel.
Mm.
Yeah, you need to scroll it like that. Take your cursor to the alphabet X here and near the position.
Yes, ma'am. Mm.
Now, ma'am, bring your scroller under X.
Yes, ma'am.
Bring your scroller, bring your arrow cursor, bring your cursor near, under the alphabet X in position.
Yes, ma'am. I scroll here,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
under the X I'm saying, under the letter X.
Here, ma'am. Here only you are telling position X.
There, ma'am, show me
Shiva
X
ma'am, you
there.
are clicking inside the box. Ma'am is telling about the letter X, below the X, under the X, in the position itself. Yes.
Ma'am, when you bring your cursor under a letter, you will be able to see 2 arrow marks in 2 sides. You are clicking inside the box as Shanta ma'am said. You need to bring your cursor under the letter.
Yes, ma'am.
No, dear. Again, you are doing inside the box only. Ma'am is telling about the left side letter X.
Yeah. Now
You
it's
are seeing
coming.
something, right? So
Yeah.
same way, take it to your X. Take the cursor to under the X alphabet.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now scroll
yeah,
it
got
to right side. Ma'am, no, you are doing it for rotation. You have to do
Yes.
it for
Mm.
position.
Yes, ma'am. Now
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Now drag it to right. Okay, now can you see the sphere moving out?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Bring it outside now. Bring it outside.
That is fine, ma'am.
Outside completely.
Mm.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Mm.
So scroll your okay. Why am I not able to control participant screen? Won't I be able to take remote control?
You want to take a remote access, ma'am?
Yeah, but I'm not able to find that option here.
Some remote desktop connection.
No, ma'am, that's fine. No, ma'am, that's fine. Okay, do one thing, ma'am. Scroll, just zoom out your scene.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, scroll. Use your scroller.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now allot your material to the ball.
Okay. Which color, ma'am? That pink color I will apply.
Yeah. So here you have to change the material's color, ma'am, because for the obstacle you have named the material as ball. But for the ball you have named the material as new material.
Okay. So I need to change it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to change it as ball only.
Yeah.
Same name. Okay.
Yeah. I guess. Okay. Now
I think
it won't take, because already there is one material in the name of ball. So you need to rename this one first. Yeah, change it as obstacle. No, ma'am, don't use random names like this. You have to use appropriate names.
So this is obstacle. Okay.
Yeah.
Obstacle. Correct, ma'am. Obstacle.
Yeah.
This
And
one.
Rename
This
it
one.
as ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Now drag this ball material and drop it here in the ball game object in hierarchy.
Here.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, okay, now the material is applied. Now what we need to do is we need to keep our game object, that is ball game object, away from our obstacle. Only then we will know um, whether the raycast is hitting on, I mean, hitting through the obstacle or is considering the obstacle as an obstacle. Okay. So now, ma'am, can you pull your game object, the ball game object, a bit more in x-axis?
Okay, ma'am.
It is in move tool, ma'am. Whenever you see arrows representing, it means that it is in move tool.
Now it
Okay.
is fine, ma'am.
Right. Yeah. Now it is fine, ma'am. All right. Now what we'll do is, okay, now by selecting the game object, okay, teachers, listen this part carefully. So whenever you want to show something as an obstacle for your game object, okay, so in our case, the game object is the ball, okay, and the obstacle is the green color sphere, okay. So here we are requiring to show the green color sphere as an obstacle for our ball, pink color ball, right? So to do it, in all the cases, it is not going to be the green sphere and pink ball. Okay, that is why I'm stressing this point over here. So whenever you want to show some obstacle to your game object, that obstacle can be of anything, that game object can be anything. Okay. So whichever game object that you are planning for, you need to select that game object, and then in your inspector panel, go to layers. You will see an option, layers in the top right. Okay, so here, no ma'am, layers.
So this one only.
Yeah, that one. So there you need to create one new layer. Okay, so to create one new layer, you should give this option, add layer. Okay. So here you can choose any layer from this. All right. Now give some name for the layer.
So any name, ma'am? Any name?
You can give any name.
Actually, till the layer 7 has been used already, we are adding new layer as 8th layer, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So from 8, you can make use of any layer. It is not mandatorily that, ma'am, I told you, no, don't use random names anywhere.
Okay.
Whatever you are dealing with, you should use that appropriate name. So
Okay.
here we are planning to bring the raycast, to show the raycast that there is some obstacle in front of it, so that the raycast should not pass through the obstacle. It should stop till the obstacle. So this is the theme that we are going to deal with. So you have to give the name appropriate to this theme.
So what I have to give?
Any name that is related. You can give obstacle itself.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, Revati ma'am, back to your question. So here it is not that you have to make use of this user layer 8. It is not that. You can use any number. So it is going to be considered as a new layer, regardless of any number that it is dealing with. All right. Okay.
That's what,
So
ma'am. Till 7th layer, it is disabled, right, ma'am?
yeah.
From 8th layer to till last layer, we can make use of any layer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Great. So now, okay, now we have created one new layer. Now, ma'am, can you please click this ball game object in your hierarchy? All right. So now, what we have to do is, since we have created a new layer, again we need to select the game object that we are dealing with, and then go to the inspector panel. Then in the layer option, now if you check, new layer will be added.
Yeah,
Okay,
obstacle
so
order.
you have to choose that obstacle layer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now what will happen is For this particular, this pink color ball game object, it will consider this green object, I mean, as the obstacle. Whenever it is thrown, the raycast will not will pass through the obstacle object. It will just stop till the obstacle. Okay. Then after doing it, what you have to do is go to the right teleport ray. Right
Right.
teleport ray.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
How the pink object will consider that green as obstacle, ma'am? They are in the
Uh,
same axis.
No, they are not. They might be in the same axis. They might be in the same position. But the thing
Okay.
is, this object. I mean, whichever object we are defining the layer. As I told you in the morning session itself, it is not depending. I mean, the obstacle is not depending on the object that is in front of it. Okay, just it is defined for the ray cast. Okay, now let's say now we are going to define this right teleport array thing. Okay, now I'll tell you. Here by selecting this right teleport array, come down in your inspector panel. Okay, now here, yeah, no, not that much. Scroll a bit above. Yeah, stop it there. Now here you have this raycast configuration. There is one thing called as raycast configuration, and below it there is one option called as raycast mask. Okay, so there we will uncheck this obstacle. All right. So now what happens is whichever game object we have defined as obstacle will be considered as obstacle, and then when the raycast hits that particular object, it will be considered as an obstacle so that the raycast will not pass through that object. Okay, just imagine if the player is standing here in 0th position. Okay, so when the player is holding the raycast, when he brings near this pink color ball, as we have defined it as an obstacle, so the raycast will not pass through the pink color ball. It will just be considered as one object. Previously, was I addressing it as green color? Teachers, are you getting confused?
Ma'am, we are setting obstacle layer for this violet color ball, no, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, layer. And here in right teleport ray, we are removing that obstacle.
Yeah.
How this is related with this green color ball, ma'am? That is a sphere. That is
No, it is, I mean, it is not related with the green color ball. Okay, so we are just dealing with the pink color ball. So for a raycast, when it comes in contact with this pink color ball, it will know that this pink color is an obstacle. It is not the object that it can pass through. So it will just stop right in front of the pink color ball, and which in turn lets us grab that pink color ball. It doesn't deal anything with the green color ball.
Okay.
So till now the player's raycast will see this pink color ball as an obstacle. Since that we have mentioned the layer as obstacle, I mean layer as obstacle for this pink color ball, not for this green color ball.
Okay.
Why I asked to import this green color ball is to show you can have multiple obstacles for your game out, I mean for your raycast. Okay. Why I asked particularly over here to import this green color ball is to show that it's not that you can deal only with something that is pink color ball. You can bring obstacle thing for any game object that you are dealing with. It's not necessary that it should be a cube or sphere or plane or a capsule or a cylinder. It's not necessary that it should be only these objects. It can be any model that you are integrating in your project. You can show that model as an in real life. In real life, if there is a machine in front of us, will we try to walk past through the machine? Obviously not, right? We will hit in the machine, right? So there the machine is going to be the obstacle. So whatever is happening in the real world, the same thing will be felt in the VR headset. Okay, so there, if we are seeing one obstacle in front of us, then the raycast also should consider it as an obstacle. So regardless of it as if you're a cube or any game object or any model that you are bringing in. If it is an obstacle, it should be considered as an obstacle. And the method that you make it, you define it as an obstacle is this one. You bring in a separate layer and allot that layer as an obstacle. And then for your raycast, that is for your right teleport ray, you are telling that this layer is an obstacle for you.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Is it clear, other teachers? Even after this, if you have any doubt, please make note of that doubt. When we meet in person, we'll build the application and we'll see it. Okay, don't confuse much of this. Or even after that, if you want some clarity, I mean, even after this class, you can ping me in person so that I can show you some references. All right. So now, after doing this, what we'll do is, okay, now here, okay, now we'll go to this. Okay, we have this XR interaction manager, right? Okay, no. Go to this right teleport tray. Okay, and here in the XR ray interactor, we have this raycast configuration. Below that, raycast configuration. I mean, yeah. So there in the line type, it is always shown as straight line. So it is up to your choice whether to show it straight or whether to show it as a curve or I mean projectile curve or Bezier curve. So Bezier curve is we saw one a reference image. Do you remember? Like it was like a curved kind of thing, the raycast itself. So that one is kind of Bezier curve, and projectile curve is it just projects the curve directly. It won't have any other random shapes or something. It just shows you as a curve. So whichever you want to choose, you can choose this line type. And here below it, you have this select action trigger. Okay, so here you can leave it off to state or state change in anything of your preference. Okay, so what it does is state is where when you try to drag your raycast from the inaccessible area for teleportation to the accessible area of teleportation, it just transfers you from the area to the area where you can teleport. And here in the state change, it just remains as it is. Okay, and below it you have some options called as audio events, haptic events and all. So in the audio events, in case if you are integrating any audio with your VR project. Okay, so like if you are hovering your if you're hovering your raycast on any particular place, so when you select that place, you will apply the trigger. So when trigger is pressed, or when the raycast is hitting on some space in the teleportation area, some sound has to be played, or some vibration has to be shown. All those things can be adjusted here in the audio events and the haptic events. Okay, so haptic events is where you will be dealing with vibrations. Okay, ma'am, can you please select on this on hover entered? Okay, yeah. So here on hover entered, you have this haptic intensity and duration. So this is where when you check this, when you check an option, these two options will be shown. That is haptic intensity and duration. So haptic intensity is where the vibration you can control, vibration intensity. Don't keep it too much, because it is, whenever the hover, that is, whenever a hover is there, that is a raycast tries to hover. Okay, I'll show it to you once I build the scene. All right. So whenever the raycast tries to hover on the teleportation area, there will be vibration. Okay, that vibration will be felt in your hand when you are holding the controller in the physical world, not in the virtual world. Okay, so in the physical world, you will feel the vibration of the controller when you are hovering inside your VR scene. Okay, then that intensity is what you are controlling it here in the haptic intensity, and the duration, how long the vibration should happen. That one you are controlling it over here. Okay, so the audio event, so it is related to sound. All right. So in case, ma'am, can you switch on any one option in the audio events? Yeah, on select entered. So here, what is the audio clip? So you will have some audio clips like the clicking sound, or a selection sound that you normally have in your mobile phones, right? So you have to have it in your MP3 player. As we attached audio clip for in our AR project, the same way we need to import the MP3 in our project. Okay, and then once you click over here, once you enable this on select entered, on select exited, on hover entered, on hover exited, then whatever option you are selecting, for that you will have to drag this MP3 and drop it here, so that it just enables whatever sound you are having for it. Okay, so audio events is mostly related to sound, and this haptic events is related to the vibration that you will be able to feel in your controller in the real world, in the real time. Okay, right. So next to it, here you have this line renderer. Okay, you have this interactor events. Ma'am, can you expand this interactor events, ma'am, before line renderer? Yeah, here you will have some functions. Okay, some default functions. Do you remember like how we interacted for the default event handler, like that? You can actually allot some functions over here, but these all you can practice. You can, it's not mandatory that you should do these things for all your projects. Wherever you want to have, you can have them. These are all optional. Okay, I'm just making you explore things, that is all. The next one is line renderer. So here you can okay, here you have one tab called as width. So in this width, yeah, in this width, it just it just helps you um, customize the width of the raycast, how wide the raycast should be. Okay, you'll be able to control this width thing, and then you have the options to edit the color of the raycast. Okay, you can have whatever color you want, and then the alignment of it. Okay, all these things you can just explore. You can, once you see your project inside VR, you can enable. See, we have 3 days of time. No? So in those 3 days of time, we can just first day, that is 3 days of time. And then for in-person training, we have 3 days of time, right? That is from next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll be having in-person training. So Wednesday, what we'll do is we'll have all our projects installed in the VR headset in the college. Okay, then we will see. Then whatever customizations we want to make, we will then make here in the thing. Okay. All right. Okay, these are all some of the major settings that you can do with your Raycast thing. All right. The rest of the project, whatever you are planning to set here, it is up to you. You can import a plane, you can import a cube, you can bring in a machine, you can bring in a computer, you can integrate a switch. Whatever you want to have, you have the liberty to do it. The thing is how creative your minds work. That is the main focus that you should be having. Okay. So using Unity, using this, you can build a game, or using this, you can make a make an operation theater. You can build a tennis court. You can bring in one computer lab. You can bring in one IoT lab. You can in anything, not just the lab I'm addressing. You can bring in any theme that you want to show your students. Okay, so even in your own domains, your students will have some restrictions to to access some places, right? So those things you can bring it here in a VR scene, so that when when your students see those scenes, whatever they won't be able to access in the real world, they can see through the virtual world in the VR scene inside VR headset. Okay, teachers. So if you require any help in generating ideas for your VR projects, you can contact me, or you can discuss among yourselves in having what kind of scenes you can show inside your VR project. But the process is this. The basic process that you will be setting is, you will have a camera offset, you will have a raycast. Okay, so these things, the VR rig thing is there, no? So this VR rig, ma'am, can you please highlight? Yeah, select the VR, the camera offset, shift select, ma'am. VR rig, yeah, shift select camera offset, right teleport ray, VR camera, left hand controller, right hand controller, and then control select teleportation area, in XR interaction manager, teleportation anchor, right? So all these things are common. Whatever components we have attached in all these things are common for any type of project you deal with. Okay, the rest of the things, the ball, the sphere, the plane, everything is up to you, your choice. Whatever scene you are planning to integrate in VR, you can bring in those game objects. Okay, but other than that, all these components, whatever are selected now, and the components, whatever we have attached here in the inspector panel for those, are going to be the same. Okay, teacher?
Ma'am, still now, whatever we designed, how we check that, ma'am, whether it is working, how it is working.
Okay,
So through,
what we'll do is, okay, we'll just build this scene itself. Okay, now what you do is, ma'am, go to file, build settings. Okay, now switch it to Android here, with platform. Ma'am, have you switched? Okay.
yeah, it's working.
So after building, there is a process. Okay, there is an application called as SideQuest. We need to apply. I mean, we need to install it in our Windows system. Okay, once we install that, we have to take our Oculus headset, VR headset. So after taking Oculus VR headset, we need to connect both our headset with and the Windows system where we have installed SideQuest. Okay, then what will happen is inside the SideQuest, our Oculus thing will be shown, and whatever we are building, okay, we'll be building it as an .apk, that is an application. So we need to install that application inside our VR headset. Okay, that process and all I will tell you when we have this in-person meeting, that is on Wednesday. Okay, so meanwhile, I'll test this one today in my headset, VR headset, and show it to you. All right, so now after we have switched the platform to Android, ma'am, can you give this add open scenes in the scenes in build?
Scenes in build. Okay, 1 minute, ma'am.
In the top here, yeah, exactly. So we have added this sample scene. All right, so now what we'll do, give build. Okay, before that, we'll check the player settings now.
1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute. I need to close it, ma'am.
Close this. Go to player settings. Here itself, ma'am. Here. And change the name.
Company name.
Yeah.
Any name, ma'am?
Yeah, anything.
VR I will give.
Similar name to
Product names also everything.
Yeah.
So
You can give teleportation. Give something. Give Satyabama itself. Satyabama
Satyabama I will
University, you
give,
can.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, Satyabama I will give, ma'am.
Ma'am, you have to make sure your S is capital and Satyabama.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, now it is fine. Scroll down. Go to
Other
resolution
setting.
and presentation. We'll just check, okay? Yeah, it is an auto rotation. Change it to landscape left.
Auto rotation. Where, ma'am?
Here, default orientation.
Default orientation.
Come down, ma'am.
Down, ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auto rotation. I change to
landscape left.
landscape left. Okay.
Yeah. Now come down. Go to other settings. Other settings.
Other settings. Okay. Other settings.
Below it.
Below it. Okay.
Bottom. And other settings. Yeah. Yeah. Scroll down. Scroll.
API level, ma'am.
KPI level change it to 26.
26. Okay. Oreo. Okay.
Yeah. And now, yeah. Close this and build. Give some name for this. Maybe give it as teleportation.
1 minute. Under assets, I can save or outside, ma'am.
No, here itself you can create one new folder, ma'am.
I create a new
Yeah,
folder.
create a
Okay.
new folder in the name of builds. Builds or something.
Build. Okay.
Inside this folder, you save it.
Teleportation.
Teleportation.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Go to save and then save. The application is being built.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
While I'm trying to build, I am facing errors.
Okay. What kind of errors, ma'am?
Showing build method exception to errors.
Okay.
Build failed exception.
Okay, I guess ma'am will also get, Shiva Shankari ma'am will also get an error.
Something repositories could not be loaded or something. Yeah.
Vivish ma'am, you do one thing, you just copy the error and send it to me on WhatsApp and I'll check. I mean, just build exception error is there, no? That one.
Yes,
How many errors are shown, ma'am?
I think nearly 4.
Okay. This thing was built actually. During lunchtime, I tried to build it.
It will take a lot of time. No? Oh, it's
No,
completed.
it's done. Yeah, build is
It's-
completed. Now open that build, ma'am. Yeah.
Open that build folder. Yes, ma'am.
Now simultaneously open WhatsApp.
Okay, ma'am. 1 minute.
Okay. Go to my chat.
Ma'am, which one, ma'am?
My chat. Ma'am.
My chat. Where, ma'am?
I mean, my number. Wait,
Okay. I think I saved your number, ma'am.
Just type 93848.
What? Tell me, ma'am.
93
93
848.
48. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
This one, no?
Yeah,
There.
yeah. Okay, now open your file. I mean, yeah, build. So just drag it and drop it inside this. No, ma'am. Have the file, I mean, bills file folder minimized. Sorry.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Drag it and drop it. Yeah. Then,
Okay, ma'am. Send, ma'am.
so I will test this and I will send a recording of how it looks like.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So based on this, we will try to do our own research domain. We will do that
Yes,
like
ma'am.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But whatever we do, we just complete it up to the APK level. We have to complete. Then after that, we will give it to you.
Yes, ma'am. So what are the concepts that you will be integrating with your in your project is you will bring a grabbing thing for your object.
Which one, ma'am? We
Okay.
didn't understand.
By attaching the XR grabbable or something. There is a script that we have already attached in the first direct interaction or something we added. Okay, a script with for our game object. So using that script, you will be grabbing, interacting with your game object, any object it might be. Okay, that thing can be done, and you will be able to move inside your scene. You will be able to rotate and see your scene, and then you will be able to teleport inside your scene. So these are the general concepts you will be dealing with. Okay, so using these general concepts, you can work in your own domain. Okay.
Ma'am, I have posted
Okay,
the
ma'am.
error in the chat, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Can you
Stop
please
share,
post
ma'am.
it, yes, ma'am. You can stop sharing. Bevish ma'am, can you post it on WhatsApp?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Teachers, that is for today. There is any? I mean, it is already 3. If it is fine for you to get your doubts clarified after staying after this 3 o'clock, you can do it. If not, you can also ping me in person so that I will look into it. So
Okay.
it's up to you. I will stop the recording.